Shalom, fam. I've prayed. I've read scripture. Pastor Kofi is on right now. I had to stop and make this video like right now because it was on my mind to make it yesterday. It was on my heart to make it yesterday, but I'm I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. My question is, what is your breaking point? When I first was given the task of moving here with my daughter, it was always a problem because I didn't want to live off of nobody where I'm not on weight. I've just never been one of those. It bothered me. Like, it really bothered me for the first 5, 6 months. It bothered me so much. And I kept saying to her, like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like not helping you with the bills or helping you do something. So my thought was, I'll cook, I'll clean, I will, make sure I'm homeschooling my grandson. I will do all of the things that I can do to help out to make sure I'm doing something to help, right? And she kept saying, but mama, it don't matter if you're here or not. I still have to do this, pay these bills, buy the things we need for the house. It's not like you require a lot of stuff. You're fine. You're fine. She just kept saying that. Um, I didn't feel fine. Okay. Even though I knew that I prayed about the situation and I was told, come, go stay with her. This is where I want you to go. Um, and I tried for a while to just, let it go away from my brain. Like, she said it's fine. This is something she's going to do if I'm here or not, which is true. But still, you want to help. You don't just want to be living off somebody. I don't anyway. But then that all changed when Homeboy moved in, doing what he do, running the house, just, what he does. So that feeling, that thought process, all of that went away because it's like, oh, this is how we doing it? Okay, you right. And then I thought about it. Well, I'll say a download came to me. She don't want you to help because then you'll have a say so. Like if you're help paying the rent or if you're help paying bills, then you have a say so. She don't want you to do that because she don't want you to have a say so in her house. I'm like, oh, that does make sense. Like, that absolutely does make sense. So then he comes, and again, I am not saying that all of this is his fault. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it's their fault. She made a decision to let him do what he do, and it caused a ripple effect. You got a big, you lost your Section 8, you had to hurry, and we end up here. It's not a great, but on the street, all praises. Then you have the issue with the crime that happened. She will be on probation, and she will have to do some days, minus the days she's already done. Not many. However, we have to be out of here again, we have to be moved by the 13th of next month. Now, I know if you followed any of my videos, you saw that we had that issue before, a couple of months ago. And Yehovah pulled us through it. So now we're doing it again. This time, we got to move. And my question initially was, what's your breaking point? Like, what has to happen in your life that you're like, okay, this is it. Let me get down on my knees and ask Jehovah to help me because I can't do this anymore by myself. I've been making choices and it's not making good I've not been making good choices and I'm destroying everything. That was me. In my 30s, actually. In my 30s. Let me tell you what my breaking point was. I wasn't 30 as yet. I was getting close. No, no, no. You know, wasn't 30 yet, just yet. Um, hmm, I'm working. Um, I had a good job working for the state. Now, throughout my lifetime, I was either drinking or doing some type of, this is for educational purposes only, or doing some type of drug, popping pills, snorting coke, smoking crack. One of I was doing something. I like to stay high. Just gonna be honest. I didn't want to think. I didn't want to feel. I just wanted to laugh and smile and be happy. Even if it was a fake happy. It was, I looked happy, so I was good. But the more I lived, the every day in my life, it just kept getting worse. The feelings, the thoughts. So then I started smoke. When I was smoking crack, um, it was all right. It was no big deal. You know how some people like they smoke crack and they were instantly hooked. Nah, nah. I smoked crack for a little bit. It was cool. Like it got me high, but the high didn't last long. You out there looking for that same high again, and you never got the exact same high you did from the first one. It's weird. It really is. It gets you high, but not for real. Not like that very first one. That very first one is a killer. So back in the day, I used to dibble and dabble in the powder. So I'm like, okay, crack ain't what it's doing. So let me get back to the powder, crush this. And, I was snorted. It didn't give me the same high. So I had to go back to the powder, just straight powder. Was it cocaine? Just straight powder. That's what I did. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed it so much. I quit paying bills. Yeah, I quit paying bills. I was married at the time. He and I were just, yeah. We should. Anyway, we're just, we getting high, and I'm just like losing weight, a lot of weight, and I didn't even realize it until someone said something to me. Um, until I was at work one day, and like I said, I was civil courts. I was a supervisor in the civil courts, child support supervisor, and I'm working with some paperwork for the judge, and my nose just started bleeding all over this paperwork. Okay, and it wouldn't stop. So that was an issue because when the judges sign their orders, they don't like to redo it. They don't like it. But thankfully, I had a good enough judge that was like, oh, things happen. I got you. We'll fix it and we'll do it. So they gave me another one so that I can prepare the order for the sheriffs. Now it's getting to the point where my nose is just bleeding all over the place randomly. And it was funny how I saw it was either a show, commercial, or something about how if you are snorting, it messes with the membranes in your nose, I think, and it will cause you to just have random nosebleeds. And if you continue, it can rupture to the point where it won't stop and you can be unalive. You can you'll pass away. Ooh, I didn't want to do that, but I still wanted to keep snorting. I was like, ooh, dilemma, dilemma. Do I do it? Do I not? Oh, I kept doing it for a little while longer until I'm getting these amazing headaches that I've never gotten before. Then my nose, it was always bleeding out this side. Then all of a sudden, both sides just was gushing. And I felt like I was getting ready to leave here because it wouldn't stop no matter what I did. And I didn't want to go to the hospital because I didn't want them to be like, oh, she's doing this and that's why she's. So I didn't do that. I prayed and I said, if you help me beat this, I promise I'll change. He heard me, but the consequences of the actions that I've taken up until this point still is coming. But he heard me. Next thing I know, being evicted. I don't have anywhere to go. So I go stay with my son and his wife. Not a fan of the wife. I don't like her at all. If it wasn't for the grandchildren, I wouldn't have no conversation with her at all. I have a video about her too, about how, whatever. Um, so I'm at their house. She doesn't want me there, or my son doesn't want me there. I don't know which one it was. Either way, I probably stayed there or maybe a week, three, maybe no, maybe a couple of weeks. And then it was, you gotta go. Was I mad? Absolutely. My son gonna put me out? Okay, fine, whatever. Took me to a shelter. I had never been to a shelter before. I had never really heard anything about a shelter before. Ooh, wee. Living in that shelter was my breaking point. It was my breaking point. I just didn't know how to, change. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. But living in that shelter for that year, ooh, it woke me up. It woke me up. Everything you own, right, is under your cots that you sleep in. And they're just like a twin size, just a little tiny cot. Some of them are the little beds too, but they're still cot like. And under your bed is where all your belongings are. They'll give you bags, you can have them in suitcases, whatever, but they have to be under your cot, your bed. It can't be hanging out. If anything's hanging out, they make you move it or they'll take it away. At nighttime, trying to sleep, you couldn't sleep. You had crazy people in there yelling and screaming, people fighting, people getting high, people almost passing away because they're overdosing. And then you got the thieves. that, lights out at a certain time. So they crawling on the floor. Mind you, everybody's stuff is under their beds. So they just come climb under, like, especially if your bed was at the door, like those first few beds are at the door, they would crawl in and take your bags and sneak it out from up under your bed. And so if you wake up in the morning, you got a whole bag of stuff just gone and missing. It was crazy. The the chores. We had chores. Oh, it was so disgusting. People are so freaking nasty. And then they're getting high in there. There's blood all over. It was just disgusting. It was so disgusting. And I thought, I am never doing this again. Like, I am never going to allow myself to be in this position ever again. Ever. But I still wasn't asking for help from the Most High. Like, I asked for help when my nose was bleeding, all the things I'm gonna change and blah blah blah. But now that I'm in this shelter, I'm feeling a whole nother way. I want out of here, and I want out of here right now. But I had nowhere to go. You have to have a job or going to school. You can't just be in there all day. So you just roam in the streets for hours until you're allowed back in because they would lock the door at a certain time and they would unlock it and so you can come back in at a certain time. But they prefer you to be working. But either way, you can't be sitting up in here. So you got to be out there having nowhere to go because initially I didn't have a job. So I would just walk around. I would sit at the park. I would just, it was crazy. Oh, it was so crazy. So then, living in a shelter, I want out of here. Like the yelling and the screaming and the fighting and the nastiness and just can't sleep because people trying to steal your stuff and all the things. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get up out of here. Uh, I think I was walking and I saw my ex-boyfriend. We were dating when I was in the civil courts. And I really liked him. We were really cool together. But we didn't, like, it wasn't, I think I liked him more than he liked me, honestly. That was what I thought. Okay. So when I met up with him again, we started talking. I explained where I was. And he was like, "Oh, no, you can come stay with me. I got my own place. You are so, please come stay with me. I'll come and get you." And he hurried up and came and got me. Like I just literally said, I didn't think he liked me like that. I thought I liked him more. It wasn't that at all. So he come and get me, move me out. I go and stay at his house. Now again, um, I had a job by now. I started working at the Hilton Hotel downtown. And so when I moved in with him, I had a job. I just didn't have, I used to walk to work, or they would give us bus tickets to go to work. But because we had to leave so early in the morning, I would walk. I would walk. I would take the bus tickets in case I needed to go somewhere else, but I would walk to work. It was a good little walk downtown. It was a straight shot. Um, and you had to be up out of there by 6 o'clock anyway. So shoot, I would just walk to work. Like, so I moved in with him. Um, I, I I still had some bus tickets from the tickets that I had already, so I would use them. And then once I used them up, um, you know, I had to. Sometimes he would um, drop me off if he was off work, and it was cool for a moment. Now I'm not doing any more drugs. I might smoke a little marijuana, um, and I might drink a little bit, but getting high like I was, oh no, I'm not doing that. And Wouldn't you know, my ex, oh, he getting it in over at his apartment. I'm not getting it in with you. You know, we used to. I'm not, smoking a little marijuana, I got you. We can do that. The rest of that stuff, I'm not touching it. So he started feeling away because I wasn't doing it anymore. And so he didn't have his friend to get high with. So he would get high elsewhere. He would leave his house and I would be at his house for 3 or 4 days, ain't seen or heard of the man because he felt some type of way because I wasn't getting high. And so he felt it was all in his mind, but he felt like I was judging him because he got high and I didn't. And I'm like, you do you. This your house. You know, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I didn't want to be around it either, though, to be honest. Um, so we got into an argument. He asked me to do something. I'm not gonna say what. I might have said it in one of my other videos, but he asked me to do something, and I was just like, I ain't no, I am not doing that. That is crazy. Who gets high like that? What are you talking about? I'm like, oh wow, and that did it for him, because I guess my response really pissed him off, and he told me, you gotta move. I'm like, okay. Again, I don't have nowhere to go. So while I was in the shelter, I had befriended this lady, and she and I, we were chill. She was smart. We hung out. We had fun together. We smoked the marijuana together, and it was all cool. So when I left the shelter, she eventually leaves as well, and we get up. I don't even know how we contact each other, but somehow we started hanging out again. And she met this guy, and she was like, he has a friend or a cousin, I think. No, he said he has a cousin, and they want to take us. Something was happening downtown. They want to take us to the thing. So I'm like, okay. So we go. Now, in my back of my head, I'm not really having fun because I'm thinking, okay, where am I moving to? Because I don't have anywhere else to go. So the cousin and I liked him. He liked me. We're not, there ain't no hoochie coochieing going on, but we chit chatting and we talking and we hanging out a lot. And it got to the point where he was like, we should get a place together. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, look at God. Won't he do it? I need a place to live and he wants to get a place together. So let's do it. So I'm ready. Let's do it. Anyway, um, he picks me up one day and he goes, I want to, no, I had all my stuff at his house, not the new guy, my ex. And I'm like, well, I need to get my stuff out of here. He's like, well, I have a storage unit. You can put all your stuff in my storage. You can get up out of here. So he come and pick me up. He takes all my things because I had a lot of stuff. And he takes it and he puts it in his storage. So I just had like a bag with some stuff that I would, change in and out of, toothbrush, underwear and stuff like that. So when homeboy, my ex, come back, he's like, "Oh, I see you've been moving. Oh yeah, I'm about to move out. No worries." I said, "As a matter of fact, I'll be moving out this weekend." He was like, "Oh, okay, that's good. You can get how all you want." So that weekend, the new guy comes and pick me up, and he goes, "Before we go look for this place," he said, "I want to wait, this is before we moved out. This is before that weekend. This is during the week. He came and picked me up and he said, I want you to meet somebody." And I was like, okay. Now I'm in Missouri. I'm in St. Louis. He says, we're gonna go to Columbia. And I was like, Okay, never heard of Columbia, but okay, we're gonna go to Columbia, Missouri. And as we're riding, we're just chit chatting, laughing, and having fun. He said, I want you to meet my mom. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I told you, I'm really serious about you. I like you a lot, and I just want you to meet my mom. Again, we're not doing the hoochie coochie. Not trying to do that. Go and meet his mom. It was fine. She has a two-bedroom. So, of course, if we're staying in the other bedroom and we're sleeping in the same bed. It's like, can you stop touching me? Is where I'm at. Like, seriously, I don't want to do this. So, can you stop touching me? He got pissed. He got more pissed than I thought. So, the next day, he wasn't really talking to me. But we're still in the same room. We're sleeping in the same bed. So, he tries it again. And I, no. So that next day when he woke up, it was a Saturday. He said he was going to the store. He came back to St. Louis, or he went back to St. Louis and left me in Columbia. I don't know this woman. I literally just met her a couple of days ago. And you leave me here? Do I know what to do? No. He's got all my stuff in his storage. And now he has left me in Columbia. What is it? 2 hours away? I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do. So him and his mom and I started talking, and she was like, "My son is this, and this. He is so ridiculous. He is blah 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 blah." And I told her I said I wouldn't sleep with him because that's not what I'm trying to do. And she's like, "Well, you could stay here, but you got to get a job." And that is how I became a teacher because she was like, "I know someone. They have a daycare, and you can go work for them." I have a whole video on that as well. So that's what started me on the path of becoming a teacher. I started in a daycare. But that was my breaking point. Like I couldn't straight, I couldn't like this is insane. And after a while, staying with her, I'm like, oh, I see where he get his attitude from because she is off the chain. She loved to shop. Thrift stores, shopping. She loved it every Saturday. She was looking for thrift stores or garage sales. She loved it. Do you hear me? So I'm paying her my part of the rent because she told me what she's gonna charge me to stay there to help her pay the rent. Okay, fine. I should do that. Um, yeah, she wasn't paying the rent either. She was shopping and she got evicted. She went back to St. Louis. She left me in that apartment. I'm like, this is insane. So I ended up having to contact the landlord to see what can be done. And I told the landlord, I said, look, I can prove to you. Here are all my receipts. I've been paying her. She just haven't been paying you. He didn't know me, and he was like, well, I see that you're really serious. You have been paying her all these months, and she's just haven't, because I had all my receipts. He said, I tell you what, I'll rent you the apartment, and you can stay here. So that's what I did. I'm not going to keep going on and on about that, but I'm just saying my breaking point. It took me it took me way out of my element. I thought I was about to lose it all, mentally, spiritually, physically, any way you can think of. But all praises, it was the beginning of my future, right? As a teacher. finding out who I am and what my calling was, So, like I said, he heard me, but the consequences of my actions still had to come. And in the process of me getting the consequences of my actions, I was still making bad choices. So I was getting more consequences. But he still made a way for me to get where I needed to be. So now today, I'm following the will that he tells me. I'm not making decisions for myself. I don't make good decisions, so I just don't do it anymore. I pray about it and let him tell me what to do. But being here, watching her, it hurts me because it's like, I know we all have to live our own life. We have our own path that we have to go, and hopefully it'll get you to the right spot. But I don't know. I don't know. Like, out of all of the stuff that she's been through while he's been around, if you've seen any of the videos, it's been a doozy. And now we're still going through because of the choices that are being made. And the choices are not just affecting her, they're affecting everyone with her. Like I said in the beginning, I felt bad not helping her with bills and things. Now I don't. I don't feel bad about it at all. We talked about it. You said I was fine. This is something you got to do anyway, so I'm not stopping nothing or whatever. But now you've allowed this person and everything he's done, or just him, his. I can't put it all on him. It's all about the choices that she's making. I'm wondering what is her breaking point? What will it be to make you get down on your knees and say, Abba, please, or God, please, whoever you want to call him, and until you learn what the truth is, get on your knees and do something. You can't keep making choices when they're not getting you anywhere. Like these, I just want to shake her. Like, girl, are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Am I tripping? What is going on here? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it for me. I don't like it for her. I don't like it for my grandson. Again, homeboy's been really nice to me, taking care of me and doing different things. I don't mean like taking care. He just, making sure I'm good and things. That's all well and good. It's nice. I still don't like him like that. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to him. I just wish he'd go away. But again, it's not his fault. It's her fault because of the choices that she's making and the choices that she keeps making. And I'm sitting here wondering, good gosh, what is the breaking point for you? I saw what mine was. Ugh, it was horrible. But I've not done anything, and I mean anything, to cause any of those things to come about my life, to come into my life again. Like, no, no, no. But I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, Abba, I pray. I'm doing exactly as you say. I'm following the laws and commandments to the best of my ability. And the choices that are being made are not mine. But we have to deal with the choices that are being made. Yeah, yeah. Oh well, fam. I'm so tired of all of this. I really am. And I just keep saying, but what else am I supposed to do? How long do I supposed to be a part of this? I don't know. And, you know, like I said, we had to be moved out of here in a couple of weeks. I don't know where we're going. And then she has made another decision. She wants to move, period. And when I asked her about moving before, she said, I don't want to come back there because I get into it too much with people. Because I can remember being in St. Louis and she came to visit and she didn't have a car. Her and somebody was having an argument via telephone. This girl took a Uber so she can go fight them. What? You did what? You took an Uber to go fight somebody? Okay. When are you gonna grow up? When are we gonna, change how we do things? You have a child that you're raising. Are you a good example for him, do you think? Mm. Because every time he goes somewhere, something happens. He gets into a fight with someone, literally. I don't know, fam. Shalom.